Pick a card. What unexpected help is coming your way? Here are your options, and I'll see what you're reading.
Okay.
Hi, friends. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, if you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen, your downloads go as follows. What unexpected help is coming your way? This actually gives me very much nurse or healer vibe. And I heard audibly that you're getting acknowledged, an acknowledgement, you're being recognized as a healer. So of course it doesn't have to be anything that you went to formal school with, but just your overall healing energy, or perhaps massage therapy, nursing, CPN, and any of the other modalities of healing. That could be a thing as well. I also heard that your connection to spirit is becoming clear, and it's becoming more accepted and no longer demonized or considered such an anomaly. Something is about to change in your life. And literally what I was looking at was a nail on the lady's head, what appears to be a nail on the right-hand side of her face. It appears to be a nail upside down. Okay, and so it's almost like a nail in a coffin coming out. Something that's been locked up for a long, long time, or something that's been thought to be put away is actually unscrewing, coming out in a good way. So metaphorically, that which has been sealed off, especially in your brain or how people see you, this could be including masks and things like that, are actually coming off, coming undone. And this is for your benefit. So you are becoming indeed more comfortable and more confident. Pile number 1, if this is you, or if this sounds like you, or sounds intriguing, go ahead and join me for the shuffle in your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, then I'm so excited to have you. Thank you for stopping in. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am so grateful to have you. Thank you guys so very much. So pile number 1, what unexpected help is coming your way? You have deep replenishment. Doesn't that look so soothing? I don't know. My first thought was like, yummy. Retreat, rest, and be held. Oh, that's cool. Okay. And you have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Yeah, I feel like this is what you've been working towards for a long, long time. And the only parts that you've seen, maybe perhaps, excuse me, is all this darkness right here. Maybe even the lightning. Maybe even heard the thunder. But it's been very difficult for you to cross over into a different reality. Maybe perhaps you guys have been really focused on manifesting or creating something, or replenishing your soul. That's very, very important in order for you to really get in touch with creation and to be able to create, right? You need the necessary nutrients and things like that. And I feel like what's unexpectedly coming your way is actually this deep replenishment, this rest, this retreat, the beheld. And that to me is very fascinating, the beheld part. So I don't know if this means that you're physically going to be held. I mean, that could be one thing, one interpretation, but I definitely feel like you're being held in the arms of the cosmos, in the arms of spirit. And sometimes I know we feel like that's not enough, especially considering the current, I want to say the political climate or the worldly climate, whatever you want to call it. It feels very tough And you can only hope. You've been in a very hopeful position, but I feel like you're getting very strong, very grounded. Some of you guys are really focusing on cleansing your energy, and that's going to be very, very important. I definitely feel like this is cleansing that energy. And I almost feel like this is like two hands or two creatures holding hands in order to make like a barricade to help you to have that, that time to really decompress and rest and feel like you're not in the fight or flight. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, is that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, right? That mentality where if you've been struggling, if you've been on your grind, if you've been like girl boss, guy boss, whatever that would look like to you, keep in mind that these are general readings. I feel like you're getting a little bit of respite. I think I said it right for the first time ever, but you're welcome. Anyways, I can learn. Yes. But I love the fact that this water is so clear. I feel like you're getting clear. Also, when I was doing the shuffle, if you happen to notice, I know I speeded up, but the King of Swords came through loud and clear. And so I just wanted to put it back in. And I knew that it would pop out if it was meant to be. But I do want to do an acknowledgement with the King of Swords here, because I feel like you're gaining your clarity, and I feel like you have just a little bit more to go in order to go through this initiation, this rite of passage, and the crossing of the threshold. And I feel like in some ways a lot of you guys are maybe looking at things that you cannot bring from the past. Maybe you're looking at your new beginnings, and it could be terrifying, right? If we're leaving something that we've only known this way our entire life. If you only know like the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, the stillness could be really weird. The refreshing could be really odd. The decompressing of all of your senses could be something that's quite the anomaly, something that we've never really experienced ourselves. And so I feel like while you can provide that for other people, maybe something within yourself has been needed to heal in this manner. And you are headed towards that healing, towards a new era, towards a new you. So let's get a little bit closer look on what is going on here, please. For pile number 1. You have change. What did I say? So we have change. A lot of you guys are going to be moving, changing your mindset. Sudden wealth. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, can you guys tell? I mean, 911, you can't make it up, right? In the US, that's like emergency, right? It's especially the past many years, it's been not a good number. It's been a number that reminds us of the things that have happened in New York. I'm thinking of Towers, of course. If you guys are in the US, you probably remember that. Maybe everybody remembers it. But anyways, I definitely feel like you're having a change and something that involves sudden wealth, some new and unexpected news, some money that's coming your way, some land that was mismanaged or held back away from you, or an inheritance that was really yours and it's come full circle and you're just finding out about it and it's finally coming into your hands some way, shape, or form. Now, it's interesting to me because I feel like, you know, we could presume that this person's the one that's moving and putting all the things in the vehicle, perhaps. But we have a lot of lamps out here, and I feel like you're going to see the road that's clear. The way to go is going to be clear for you, and it will be made available for you by this like sudden wealth. Sudden, like maybe you hit the lotto, maybe you win a scratcher, maybe it is a family inheritance, or maybe it's like a long lost relative or somebody you didn't even know that I'm here bequeaths you all this income, or, you know, a plot of land where you can feel at peace and at rest and enter like a different phase and a different chapter in your life. Very interesting to me. So let's see what else that you have going on here. And I'm also hearing that, you know, it's going to be very hard for you to make the leap from one side to the other. And largely because a lot of what you have known in the past is just not going to be something that works into your new realm. It's almost like you can't take it all with you. If you have a lot of baggage and things like that, I feel like you're going to be eliminating a lot of that. What else? Yeah, people that don't have the same mindset or the same frequency or a similar frequency. I feel like this is going to be a journey of one, or at least maybe a journey of very few. It could be your nuclear family, that kind of a thing. So if you live with extended family, that's not even gonna be a thing any longer. So it's going to be a massive change, but it will be, in the end, a very good change for you. I see a lot of beauty right here. You could have very long hair as well. Not necessarily, but you could. And you're definitely in touch with these like ebbs and flows of the moon. So I think that that's something that you are going to even more be getting more in touch with as the future unrolls for you. So pile number 1, you have the Knight of Coins. Yeah, this has evolved very slowly. I feel like it's been slow and methodical, and you have not had a lot to lead you. I feel like you've maybe been led by your intuition, your instincts, and you can read the room, you can read the lay of the land, in other words, and you're like, well, you know, this job isn't really working for me, or this is an area where I thought it was kind of good, but now it's sort of dimming its light, and I'm feeling not as gelled in the community, or I'm feeling not as welcome, or something else is calling me. And I feel like you're listening to your intuition a lot more, perhaps more than you ever have before. And this is how you've been navigating things, but things are going to become a lot clearer, and you're about to be rewarded for the faith and the dedication, the devotion that you have, that you've been demonstrating, okay, is a word that I hear. And it can have to do with monetary value. It could have to do with like solid, like where you live, how you do things, how you earn a living, things of that nature. Yeah, so pile number 1, definitely 10 of Swords right here. We have somebody that is literally in an electric chair. I don't even know if I could say that here, but I feel like this has been slow. We even have like a pitchfork, or perceived pitchforks a little bit, right? And I feel like this person is sitting here, and this person is kind of just lit, right? Completely lit. From the inside out by all the electricity traveling through their body. And so I feel like this is a massive ending. And I think that you've seen endings before. And so you've traveled long and hard, and you've traveled among a lot of rubble, a lot of debris. And this could be like the rubble of maybe perhaps your parents' marriages, your own marriage, kind of falling apart, unraveling, or decaying, or relationships, or friendships, or even partnerships, right? It could be friendships. It could be really anything. But I definitely feel like you have like one more thing to travel through. And with this 10 of Swords, I feel like it's just going to be made evident. Like this person is not surprised to be sitting in an electric chair. When you walk up there, you're going to know exactly what it is. And for some of you guys, this could indicate, and I know it's like... the title, I knew I was going to get in trouble when I did the title like this. What unexpected help is coming your way? But the help really is that it's going to be made obvious where it is that you belong and where it is that you do not belong, where it is that Spirit wants you, and where it is that your work is done here, type of a mentality. And I think it's going to be incredibly beautiful. It'll be radiant. It'll be blatantly clear for you. And you do have all the resources, everything that you need in order to take with you to move forward, to move on. I don't know, to buy a bus ticket, to get a vehicle, to pack your things, to rent a U-Haul, to take a flight, whatever it is that you need to do for your next step, you have and or will be provided for, especially with this like sudden wealth right here. Now for a very small part of you listening, might be like, you know, 1%, but who knows. I'm gonna say that this could be somebody who has been sentenced to prison, like, you know, for life. That could be a thing, or they indeed got the X penalty, that kind of a thing, and they will not, you know, they won't be in your world anymore. So it could be an ending like that, where they're being housed elsewhere, and that is the end of that for this chapter of your life. It doesn't have to mean obviously the end for everything or everyone. So for another small portion of you guys, and I knew this was going to come up, if you've been following the ICE deportations, what they're calling it, and things like that, then I feel like this could be maybe perhaps you yourself being deported, or family or friends, or because of that climate, that type of thing unfolding before your very eyes. It could be that you're making moves based on that, or because of it, or somehow being affected by it, okay? So let's see what else we have right here. And, you know, if you guys are definitely being affected by that, I am so sorry. It's actually a horror to watch unfold. So pile number 1. Let's see what else we have here. What unexpected help is coming your way? If you're indeed liking these kind of readings, or if they're kind of interesting to you, if you can please like, share, comment, subscribe, I would definitely appreciate that. You have 7 of Cups. And you have the Page of Coins. Yeah. So 7 of Cups tells me that maybe this even has to do with like letting out your inner child. Like maybe perhaps you have been doing so much and you've been so responsible and you've been like working nonstop with a bump and grind, or girl bossing, guy bossing, whatever you want to call it, right? Maybe you have been indeed like canning and doing everything that you can to make sure that you're provided for, that your future the future of your family is really provided for, and things like that. And it just seems like it's very difficult, but you do definitely have options right here. And with the Page of Coins, it's like you've been given a little reward for all of your efforts. And I feel like, I mean, this boy like grew up, right? And we're still in the Page of Coins. It's like, wow, that's a lot of work. You've done a lot. You've rolled up your sleeve a lot. You've dedicated a lot. And I feel like you guys are just flat out weary. And I hear you. And I see that. And so what Spirit is saying is that you may be feeling that way now, but a reprieve and a deep replenishment, a rest, a break. And I'm not talking, you know, a vacation even, or much less a staycation. I feel like this is going to be on a soul level. You know, it's a retreat on where you can be gone for like a month, or something that allows your soul to really, really heal. But for a lot of you guys, I do feel like you'll be relocating, maybe perhaps going to your own homeland and things like that, if you're not from wherever it is that you're currently living. So some of you guys are going to be going to Japan or the Netherlands, or you know, any place that, if maybe perhaps you were born there, you didn't spend a lot of time there. But I feel like it could be maybe for a long visit or long vacation, or maybe perhaps on a renewed work assignment for a year or two if you get a new job, or if the same job decides to expand or send you out on something like that. So I definitely see that coming for you. Let's see what else we can get on this. What unexpected help is coming your way? Because I definitely feel the frustration, the fatigue, the exhaustion. I even feel like the hopeless. It's kind of like, well, feeling hopeless, like, what did I do all this for? Like, I wasted all of that time. And I feel like Spirit's reassuring you. It's like a balm to the soul. You have not wasted your time. It has not been in vain. Everything that you've done, everything that you've wanted to do, how you rolled up your sleeve, contributed, how you poured your heart, your body, mind, heart, and soul into things. And it's really not over until, you know, until it's over. And I feel like you might feel like emotionally things are over, but they are not. Yeah, the Four of Cups. Yeah, you could be feeling like, well, you know, this isn't even for me right now. I'm sitting in darkness, and I do not see the resources that you are talking about, G. Some people call me G because it's easier. Just, I don't even know why that came out. But I'm just going to say that with all this red right here, this is addressing your root chakras. I feel like maybe perhaps you've been misaligned or under some kind of alignment that wasn't really good for you. I definitely feel like a lot of you guys have been fighting for the cause of other people, and that's no longer going to be the case. I think that you are going to be establishing things that are bettering your situation as well as those of your loved ones. So, excuse me. And some of you guys will actually go, you know, overseas or travel to learn different modes of like healing and stuff like that. Some of you guys will indeed do, you know, like ayahuasca trips, pardon me, totally smacked that microphone, or microdosing or mushrooms or whatever, right? Or some of you guys are going to learn how to do, this is weird, but like coffee enemas. Sorry, it came to my brain, so there you have it. But different modes of healing and things like that, and that are going to really be surprising to you. And I hear the word simplifying. So I feel like you'll be simplifying your life, and thereby you're going to be not earning, that's the rude way of saying it, but I feel like you're going to be gaining a lot more peace, and a lot of things that have been hidden. I feel like those things are going to come forward, and it's going to make so much sense. If you've been sitting in the dark, if you've been sitting into a space where you're just like not happy, you don't want it, that kind of a thing, but you're trying to make the best of it, because that's what we do as providers, as parents, as siblings, as children, whatever your case is. I feel like that is going to be revamped, and it's going to give you a renewed optimism. Yeah, and you'll be renewed into a rite of passage that maybe you never even dreamt was going to come your way. And I'm hearing with your people. So again, I'm getting a lot about your people. So whatever that means to you, it could be your people from the other side. Some of you guys are mediums and really connect with the other side quite easily. In which case, I feel like this would be someone teaching you a little bit more about your culture and how to do things differently. So that is what I have. Let me know what you think about this, and I will see you at your next reading. Namaste.
Okay.
Hi, friends. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. What unexpected help is coming your way? Now, you might be hearing a lot of noises during this reading because I am above a garage, I guess you could say. And there's a lot of repairs going on down there. So I apologize ahead of time, but we're going to keep it pushing. That ain't nothing. What unexpected help is coming your way? You are tuning in to your sensuality more and listening to yourself more. You're seeing more of the spirit world. You could be perhaps clairaudient, clairsentient, and making that more important to you. You are changing even more in ways that people cannot describe. You're embracing your heritage. Okay, similar to pile number 1, interesting. And perhaps incorporating more of that in a visible manner into your life. So the downloads that I got, the examples were Indigenous people. I feel like embracing a lot more their heritage and things like that. Maybe learning their culture even more, getting more involved, or dancing or singing more, or perhaps making like beaded earrings or clothing and things like that. I follow actually a lot of people, a lot of like TikTokers that do this, and it's very fascinating to me. So anyways, that's what I have. So if this sounds interesting, or if this sounds like you, go ahead and join me for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or hopeful. Glad to have you here. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am so excited to have you here. Thank you guys so very much for your support and your patience. Pile number 2, what expected help is coming your way? You have the warrior woman. What? You've answered. Oh, have you answered your deepest calling? And we read energy. We don't read sex. So, you know, your inner person, warrior person. And you have breaking the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. Yes. I feel like pile number 2, a lot of us are on this journey to do just that. So pile number 2, I definitely feel like things have been not easy for you, but I think that you're incredibly bright. I heard stoic. I feel like maybe you could be really in line with frequency. Some of you guys like working like radiology, or you're at the radiologist, or you have an appointment with radiology coming up soon. You would know about this already, so don't fret if that's not your case. I'm looking at all the pink as well here. And I feel like you're actually very loved. You're very loved for being somebody who is incredibly articulate. Maybe perhaps people didn't even know that you were that smart, that intelligent. And I feel like this intelligence, this wisdom, this uncanny ability to undress people. Gosh, that sounds seedy. I don't mean it that way, but you know, undress people with your words. This ability to really get to the nitty-gritty is going to be incredibly helpful. The unexpected help that is coming your way is something that is going to do with your intellect and how much people love you and actually really support you in order to help you break the chains, break the curse, break the pattern that perhaps you've been involved with. And this can mean, for some of you guys, ancestral patterns, hello, excuse me, can look like this. It can really look like you picking the same type of mate, the same type of partner, romantic partner, best friend, whatever. And you're picking the same type of person over and over. And then you wonder why the same lesson comes with a different face and things like that. But I feel like you are learning. You have this ability to detect things like that. And you're helping other people to be able to really unravel this within themselves as well. So you don't necessarily have to be present in order for that to happen. You could have a podcast. You could be a speaker. You could be a therapist. You could be a bestie, a best friend, or somebody like a village counselor that people come to in order to make assessments to really help them to see the pattern. And even if you don't say, this is something that you have a pattern at doing, and I feel like because you worked really hard to really undo those patterns within yourself, by the way, and maybe you might have like one or two more things lingering that are actually going there. You know, we can't change overnight with everything, but we can certainly make strides and steps to make massive changes. And massive changes happen when you do little changes, you know, and they accrue and become big. So I definitely feel like people have watched you kind of evolve, this evolution of you, this being there for yourself, this ability to speak up and stand up for yourself. And I feel like while people love this, I feel like it might be frightening to them as well. And then here we have, you know, breaking the chain. This could be arranged marriages. This could be really anything. This could be, well, it's always been done this way, so that's how you have to fall in line, but it's not a healthy thing. And so you're like, yeah, we're not doing that any longer. So if I need to fall in line with something that's not healthy, look at how the candle just went out, literally, then you are not going to be there for this type of thing, whether it's a behavior, whether it is a company who has a, I don't know, I guess, hello. Sorry if that was super loud, guys. Whether that's a company that this is kind of given out to, you know, their ML could be something that you don't, you know, really, I'm all, don't do it, I'm not going to do it. And here we do it. But, okay. Yeah, so it could be something that you just don't really fundamentally agree with, and you see that maybe it's time to leave, or you have in some way, shape, or form affect the outcome of how people wind up doing things because of how you see and your perspective, and you're like not going to be quiet about it. When people talk about maybe perhaps at work their bottom line, and it, you know, it's not coming together, and so we can't afford to do raises, and then you're like, oh, but you can do, you know, all these trips to Aruba for the top people in your company, but you can't really, you know, change whatever this company culture is that's toxic, or you can't really invest in your people at the very bottom so they can also feel refreshed or feel invigorated or feel important in order to have that mental, emotional, spiritual momentum in order to keep going, that sort of a thing. And you're just cutting it at the knees, and you're like, yeah, well, that's a bunch of nonsense. And so I feel like you're going to be really verbose and almost like, yeah, I feel like you're going to be for the people, and people originally maybe not, they won't recognize this or understand this, but you are for the people, whatever your people are. And again, this could be work. This could be generational cycles in your family, or, you know, maybe part of the generational cycle is that, you know, we keep accepting jobs that are lower than us, that we're like, well, that's, you know, fated. I've always been I'm thinking of Puerto Rico right now. I've always been like a peon and that's all I have. And while I have a family, I'm locked in. There's no way I can do something else. Or I'm older and there's no way that I can get out of this. That's what's expected. And I'm here to earn, you know, and provide for these people or do what is deemed necessary. So whatever traditions and things like that, I feel like you're going to be challenging that, not only within yourself, because I feel like that phase, that era has mostly done, and you've really addressed it with yourself, but a lot of other people, onlookers, I call them, a lot of people looky-loo that are looking at your social media, that are following your story, even if you don't have stories out in public and things like that, they keep their finger on the pulse or try to via other friends, other family, other means that they're like, oh, hey, how's Paul number 2 doing? Do you know anything about it? And so they really want to know what is going on with you, sort of a thing. And so I feel like a part of it is going to be like folklore or the spoken word, maybe even the written word, who knows, right? That's going to be passed down from person to person. And this is how you are affecting other people. And I'm like, well, how's this benefiting you? Because I feel like maybe perhaps, and the title's not how to benefit you, but you get in the gist is like, what unexpected help is coming your way. I feel like the unexpected help is that acknowledgement. It is very similar, actually. A lot of you guys could be coming from pile number 1. You don't necessarily have to be, but you could be. And I feel like that is going to put the wind within your sails in order to give you that momentum, that clarity, that vision of, wow, this is why this happened. And wow, this is why things have been really, I heard a shit show, but you know, who knows what's going on. So all of us have different stories. And wow, this is why I've been through, you know, having, you know, people in my life being abusive or wanting to compete with me constantly or things like that. And I've broken out of that mold. And then all of a sudden other people are like, wow, that's actually kind of true. Well, what if, you know, this person has, I'm hearing that you have BALLS, balls of steel. And I think that that's incredibly inspiring, and you're starting to see that feedback from the universe, that like, wow, that light, that reciprocal energy finally generating for you if you've been battling for a long time by yourself. Also, I'm being led to share with you like name vibration. I have like, you know, I'm Latina, so I've got many names depending on who's asking, but my first name is Sylvia. My second name is Grisel, and it's like, it's the guardian of the forest and also great warrior. So, I mean, what do you think is going to happen? We're going to fight the rest of our lives. Our entire life, we're going to guard the forest and be a great warrior. So apparently, but name vibration could be a thing, and maybe you're going to shorten your name. Maybe you're going to lengthen it. Maybe some of you guys will undergo some like unexpected nicknames. Like in pile number 1, I call myself G, which is what's usually it's coworkers that call me that. And so, yeah, but it could be a thing like that. So I don't know, but I think this is going to be helpful because you're going to start to see the circle kind of completion and of movement in other people's lives, like how you've affected other people by simply working on yourself. It's 9 minutes into it, and here we are. We got to the point. Pile number 2. What unexpected help is coming your way? The world. Yeah. So you're going to be manifesting. You're going to be manifesting endings. Like, this isn't working for me. You're also going to be manifesting. Yeah. I feel like juggling a lot of balls, a lot of different things, but I feel like different communities come together. I feel like you're going to be able to harness that energy. It's going to be the timing for you to maybe act or to even be publicly recognized, publicly noticed, and things like that. And I feel like through this, you don't have to do anything different, by the way. It's just going to happen naturally. Through tuning in and listening to your intuition the way that you do, I feel like, yeah, you're helping people to recapture that. Like, maybe perhaps you start cooking again and you start like doing things a lot more organically in ways that you haven't done in a long time. And maybe you're starting a garden or starting a garden again, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, this is sustainable. We can actually start eating off of that. You're eating better and healthier because you're growing it at home, or, you know, whatever this means to you. But I feel like help is coming your way because it's going to give you renewed optimism that you're not fighting all by yourself all the time. Now, with the world, this can also mean collaborating with other people. This can mean doing collabs, right? Online or whatever that looks like to you. Maybe you're going to represent somebody who has like a dress company or clothing company or jewelry and things like that. So it can look in many different ways. But I feel like this is going to help to inspire you and give you like some reward for all of your battles and hard work, because I do feel like a lot of you guys are battle weary, and also that there's a big misunderstanding between whom you are and who people really perceive you as being. So I feel like a big celebration, like the Six of Wands coming for you. So pile number 2. You have the Page of Swords. What unexpected help is coming your way? And you have the Six of Coins. Yeah, somebody is going to be very, very generous with you. I'm looking at this blue right here, and I feel like this can have a lot to do. I'm looking at my ring all of a sudden. This can have a lot to do with like the spoken word. Maybe somebody is going to give you something that they've held that's of emotional value to you. But Six of Coins is somebody who has enough coin to share, like share the wealth, share the wisdom, but emotionally gratifying nonetheless. And this Page of Swords is very fierce. Look at that. And I feel like people have been looking hard into you. So I think that for some of you guys, you're going to be selected for something big. And even the way this person is sitting right here, it's almost like they're meditating. I feel like you could be selected to be a leader. It could be like team lead. It could be like you get a management position, or you get boss, or you are lead of the culture on your team or culture of a company, things like that. So you're going to play it however it feels applicable. And pile number 2, if this reading is resonating, I would definitely appreciate it if you can take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you feel led to, go ahead and click that little notification button as well, so that you get notified when I drop further readings. So pile number 2, what unexpected help is coming your way? Expectation. You've been waiting for a long time. So this reduces to a 10 right here. And I definitely have 2 10s on the board right here. You know, it's at 21, but you have the 2 10s in there with the World. So yeah, I feel, and also interestingly enough, whenever I see 10s, like the X, Roman numeral 10, or an X actually, X's, wow, okay, this happened to jump out because I pushed on it somehow. It's a Queen of Wands. We'll address in a minute. I definitely feel like this could have to do with curses, like generational curses and things like that. And I feel like you're breaking those, if I did mention that. But yeah, breaking the chain, it's an expectation. I feel like your ancestors have been expecting that. And also maybe you've caused a lot of like, I don't know, tumultuous energy or people questioning, which causes people to feel a certain way. But then they look back and they're like, wow, they're right. Yeah. Message of concern. And then the Queen of Wands right here. So maybe perhaps you have been somebody who does really have a lot of other people like concerned. They're kind of concerned about what you're doing, what you're up to, what you're speaking on, what are your thoughts. People are really concerned about what you think about that. The number 14. You might be getting a message that really is of worry, like worrisome or cause for concern. She's like, what, who, me? And that would be, you know, reducing to number 5 right there. And the 5s are all about change. And we have the Queen of Wands right here. But I feel like this can launch you into like a business of your own. I feel like this message of concern, once it's addressed, might kind of like give you a little heart palpitation or a little heart jump sort of a thing. But in the end, I feel like either you're going to be big boss, or there's a Queen of Wands, somebody with feminine energy who is a mover or a shaker that is going to be able to really help and assist you in whatever matter is going to be more prominent. And, you know, break the chain. This is like these patterns that we're seeing even now evolving in the world. And I feel like you're going to be able to somehow take part in that and break those patterns and really show people, hey, this is a pattern. Maybe it's dressed up as something different, you know, but a chain, breaking the chains right here, a chain is still a chain, regardless if it's dressed up to look like something else, or if it's prettified, or, you know, if we put it on each other, or if somebody else puts it on us, whatever. It's like, I feel like you're going to be pointing things out, and you're helping people to really get curious and do research on you. And not just that, but be able to research what it is that you're talking about in order to really feel inspired to make said changes to affect potentially on a global level. So that is what I have. Much, much love to you, protection to you, and all the things. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. What unexpected help is coming your way? What unexpected help, pile number 3, is coming for thee? And I literally heard, you are getting your flowers. Now, especially I feel like the gentlemen are choosing this pile. I don't know why, but that's what I was downloading. So, gentlemen, for just a moment, and if you're not, take what fits and leave the rest, of course. But you especially will be praised by people that you think don't see you, have ever acknowledged you, or never made you feel spoken, acknowledged, I guess, in public or even in private. But this could be people that like live far from you, or you're really removed from. They're not in your life. There's a big separation. And I don't feel like you know these people very well, by the way. So I'm getting distant relatives who've denied or ignored you. And this can mean perhaps that you were born into like a first family, and then a partner, you know, father, parent went away and started a family elsewhere, and then they were no longer part of the first family to begin with. So this can mean so many different things, but it's that type of thing. I was even watching clips of some of the royalty overseas and how, you know, this person has like 2 daughters, and one daughter appears to be publicly always favored and the other one seems ignored, which I didn't know those even 2. So kind of interesting like that, but you'll have renewed confidence overall, and you're finding those flowers given to you are too little, too late. You celebrate you now, and I feel like this is a place of empowerment. It's incredibly beautiful. I do feel like it's almost like, wow, you know, pile number 3 has been through all that or did all that, or has turned into this amazing person, and you're kind of like, well, low-key, your input is not needed or not wanted, that sort of thing. But let's see what unexpected help is coming your way. So if this sounds like you, or if this is you, join me for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I want to extend a super warm welcome to you. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I'm so grateful to have you here. Pile number 3. What unexpected help is coming your way? Sorry, I'm listening to my puppy snore away. It's so funny. Okay, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. And then we have dance with life. Do something, change your energy. Okay. So first off, I definitely feel like help that is coming your way. It's almost like this person's like enveloping you. I'm getting protection. I'm getting calmer nerves. I'm getting village, like it takes a village to raise a child. I'm getting community, simplicity, a different kind of a lifestyle, that sort of thing. And of course you have Egypt. And I'm also getting Arizona, because it is said, some people are saying, you know, that there are Egyptian artifacts that are being hidden in Arizona. And I was watching one girl who was saying, well, you know, that is actually Egypt. So it's kind of all interesting. So that's nothing that you're going to ever see on mainstream media, obviously. But yeah. So I definitely feel like maybe perhaps you can have an expansion, an upgrade, a change in perspective, a change on how you look at things, how you view things, a beginning of questioning a lot of things around you, that sort of thing. I'm hearing high IQ as well. And dance with life. So, yeah. You're going to hear my little guy coughing. He has an appointment for the vet coming up here soon. So dance with life. Do something, change your energy. So you could have been stuck or feeling stagnant in energy. And with the moon card right here, it could be in things that you are not really understanding. You're not seeing clear. There could be deception that has been around you for some time. Or you could be healing from deception, and that could be leaving your life. And maybe perhaps that's why you're a little bit feeling like stagnant or not, maybe even not really taken care of, right? Because when we're around people that lie, cheat, steal, or put us down, or worse, it puts us in a lower kind of vibration of fear or simply being in the moment. But that can also put us in a moment where we're reaching out to our ancestors or spirit or God or Buddha or whatever it is that you really hold dear and believe in, right? Some of you guys are something about light, something about some of you guys could be downloading with light, like language, or getting downloads and codes. Sorry, buddy. He's so old, and unfortunately, but yeah, I feel like you're definitely going to see a lot of improvement. There'll be room to rejoice. Maybe some of you guys are going to be starting to take classes in order to get that body moving so that you can move that energy and be a better vessel overall. Now, some of you guys also are mediums, or you don't know you're mediums, or you can tap into the other side. Maybe you've seen spirits and things like that for a long time. And I feel like you could have like a presence or someone visiting you. And if you're not comfortable with that, just so you know, you can tell them, you know what, you're not allowed here. Use commanding energy. And of course, you can do a lot of different things in order to clear that energy out. But you can set intention before you go to sleep, like, no, you know, no visitors here. We can address a different time, or I'm not open to that. It scares me. So do not come into my sacred space, which is anywhere that you are at, and so on and so forth. But I definitely feel like you could have maybe, I don't know, like I don't want to say an entity, but like somebody that's going to work with you or wants to work with you, that's been observing you, that kind of a thing. So if you're not open to it, yeah, because the eyes are definitely defined. And I think that you can make that a non-issue for yourself. You know, just pray or meditate and picture, you know, that you do not want anything energetically coming towards you, and it will be so. So moving on, that was for like 1 or 2 people out there, by the way, so please do not get scared. Pile number 3, you have Judgment. And you have 8 of Wands. And I heard you have Judgment and you have class. Okay, so maybe you are very classy. You're considered classy. That could be a thing. But what's happening is that you're going to receive maybe judgment. You are going to be making correct assessments on other people. And I feel like finally other people are going to start making assessments correctly on you in a good way. It could happen quickly, suddenly. I feel like you're, again, very protected. And maybe even perhaps there could be a thing where people at your workplace are all getting like judged, or I don't know, it could be like annual reviews and everybody's getting a, you know, a write-up or something that they need to work on, a plan or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like you're divinely protected in this, and things will happen quickly. Also, I see travel could be happening for you as well. And again, being looked out for is like a big thing. And this could have everything to do with like how you feel stable, how you feel grounded, how you earn a living, how you earn your keep. In other words, if you're a content creator, I feel like that will, you know, you'll be shielded by an umbrella that is very spiritual for you. and I'm hearing by keeping it classy also that you're going to be doing things in a way that, I don't want to say you'll be overlooked, but you won't be coming under scrutiny like that in a negative way, which is pretty cool. So what unexpected help is coming your way? Yeah, a lot of movement, a lot of change with the Eight of Wands, messages coming to and fro, to and for. Page of Wands, that is interesting. I don't know if I've ever pulled her before, but I'm riveted. Fascinating, yeah. Page of Wands right here is somebody who usually is full of excitement, full of all the things in order to make this creation. And maybe you've been working and laboring long into the night, and it seems kind of like even this, I don't know if that's a beaker or whatever, but it seems to be spilling everywhere. And she's just really focused on what her hands have, but not the inspiration that she's actually actively getting. So I definitely feel like what unexpected help is coming your way is that while your work, the work of your hands and things like that is being judged and correctly assessed, like in a good, positive way, I feel like you've been like lackluster and not feeling like it's going anywhere, doing anything, just feeling kind of overall tired and whatnot. And I think that that feeling is leaving because you're having divine inspiration right here. And I feel like it's only a matter of time before you are seen, noticed even more than you currently are. And that something will happen to put back pep in your step, okay? Look at all this green. 9 of Wands, yeah. And so it could be also a situation where you've been working diligently or focused, and it could be maybe that you're caring for another person, or you have separated yourself from other people in order to really focus on this passion project, whatever this thing is. And I feel like with the 9 of Wands, you could be defensive, have been, you know, like your defense is up while you only work. And I feel like things like that are changing because I feel like maybe your world perhaps has become too small, too confined in order for you to grow further the way that you are currently doing things, not in a bad way, by the way, but I do feel like perhaps somebody has been looking or watching, wanting to help, and they're deciding that it is time, like the time is right to strike, not in a bad way, but to help break down some of your barriers. And that could mean like maybe you're very reserved, you don't talk to people, you don't lean on anyone, you do everything yourself, Miss Hyper Independent, Mr. Hyper Independence, whatever. And somebody who's going to be very strong and just as fierce is going to come along your way because maybe perhaps they feel like you're better off as a team, whether this is professional or romantic or whatever. I feel like whatever this is, this person also can have their own defenses that they're going to have to break through or have broken through in order to make some moves. And to me, that's really fascinating because I feel like it's almost like you're cut from the same cloth, right? It's almost like a person entering your life again that really understands you, or at least they think they do from afar, from the outside and things like that. Or maybe they know enough, like you've been able to be vulnerable enough, but they know that, hey, this person, nobody F's with them because they are homebodies, or they don't go anywhere, they don't rub elbows with anything, or they don't, you know, they're always focused on whatever it is that they're creating. But in that, your light has dimmed a little bit, and I feel like there's an opening right here with like a lot of like love messages or juicy messages or hey, let's get together. Hey, 2 is better than 1. When 1 falls down, pity the person that doesn't have another person to hold them up. That's horribly paraphrased, but you're welcome. And so I see a lot of green. This could have to do with your money again on being solid. And it could be a little bit of like battling with somebody else in order to allow them in. So that could be a little bit of a struggle with you, but that's part of the dance of life. Maybe somebody invites you to go out dancing. That could be another possibility. So you're going to want to watch for these, or you're taking classes or courses and somebody there kind of, you pique their interest and vice versa. But I definitely feel like somebody will be pursuing you professionally or on a personal level, or maybe perhaps professionally with a motive to get more personal. Okay, so even if you're like partner, this can mean, again, they want to get close to you because they feel like you could do better, so much better with 2 of you than just one of you working on a similar agenda. So it could be a business again. So if you are liking these type of readings, if they're interesting, please give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, if you can take a moment to click on your little notification bell, excuse me, so you get notified when I drop further readings. Yeah. But what unexpected help is coming your way? This came out in another reading. It makes me kind of crazy when they repeat, but that's okay. It's confirmation. So if you came for another reading, hi, welcome, welcome. Or if you're drawn to another reading, that's your cue. And then despair. Okay, change. So I feel like what's changing is that if you've been losing that mojo, that ebb and flow, that excitement for your dreams, if it's dissipating, if it feels like, gee, I don't know, my vision is just kind of not what it used to be, or I lost a little bit of oomph, or, you know, it's been exhausting, or life is kind of getting me the beat down, whatever this is. Or maybe you don't see a lot of people that are loyal to you, or you've had a lot of changes and it's been difficult. And maybe you're looking for a different job, because right here it says not hiring, right? And then there's a dog. I feel like help is on the way, but it'll require change on your part, and it might be a little bit challenging, a little bit difficult to look outside of your current circumstances to be able to accept it. I can't help with it. You guys, if you guys know what this is, if you can remember later and you can come and say, hey, that's what that was, I'm actually really intrigued. So that would be really super interesting. But someone here also follows Sharpie on TikTok. I think I've seen her on IG as well, but Sharpie is the Latina gal who actually uses Sharpie as all of her makeup. So her lipstick is a Sharpie, so are the brows. No big surprise here to us Latinas, right? But everything that she utilizes is literally a Sharpie. And she was talking about how her husband, you know, she was getting this feeling, and lo and behold, apparently he's out of the house and things like that. So some of you guys could be having, you know, issues or remembering past failed relationships, and maybe you drew up the wall. That's what I want to tell you about with the Nine of Wands here. This is drawing up walls so tall, right? Are your walls that they can keep out the bad stuff? Yes, but they can also keep out the good stuff. And I resemble that remark. So if you guys are out there and you have had a rough time in dating and love, or in partnership, professional partnerships, it will not always be like that. And so try to be a little bit more flexible, as I lecture myself, you know, with allowing people to prove to you whom they are, and not assuming that they're going to want to hurt you or do, you know, bad things. And I only got that because the download I was getting was Sharpie with her man possibly, you know, cheating on her or whatever. I don't know if that whole thing is, you know, where we're at with that right now. But your last card here, this came out in another pile as well, is the Six of Coins right here. Yeah. And so maybe, yeah, you could be feeling low. You could be feeling kind of sad with the number 32 as well. More change, you know, change is going to be flanking you. You can't go backwards. You've already done a lot of changes, so why go back? But it's like difficult to go forward because you feel like it's going to be more of the same, but actually won't, because this person is going to be very generous. They're going to be able to see the skeletons that you've had in your closet, or that other people have had, or I feel like this could even be secrets that other people have had in their lives connected to you, and that you've not spoken on, you've not said anything about. And so it's not like you're out here like outing everybody or whatever, but I definitely feel like there's an energy of you being the secret keeper, and you've had to be stoic, and you've had to, and because you know so much about so many different people, maybe perhaps it has tinged you or tainted you or made you jaded, or maybe perhaps it's simply that you feel like you carry so many people's secrets, and that's not something that you can really talk about to other people, because that's like you're a sacred place. You are somebody that really helps transmute other people's energy as well. And so I feel like you're starting to see the lighter side of life. I'm also hearing the word Persephone, and maybe you guys have connection to Persephone, right? Where she actually went to Hades, and her mom, I think her mom had to like petition to be able to see her. I don't know. It depends on different, you know, lore that you wind up reading about, but there are different versions of it. So if you want to you know, take a gander on that. But she, I think, has had a history of, she was abducted and things like that. So you could have that in your history as well. I was kidnapped too, by the way. I don't know if I can even say that, but hey, that's what happened. And so, yeah, actually by my parents. So, but that could be part of your story, or that could have happened, you know, by somebody else, or it could be the ex trafficking situation, you know, and you could have many elements of this involved as well. And I feel like it's going to be a time for you to dance, to be lighter, to know that you are protected, that the light is coming out for you, that masks are dropping, that even people that are pillar in your life that still want to wear masks and things like that, I feel like those things are dropping away, so that in you doing your own thing and really forming a judgment, right, and the people in your life, or maybe in your surroundings, or in society, or in politics, whatever this is, that you can be open to the new, opening to change, and opening up to the help that somebody physically wants to come your way to provide some help. And okay, I know we're 17 minutes in, but here we go. What? Incarnation. And tell me how, oh my gosh, this is wild. Okay, for real, we're done. We're done, but look, don't tell nobody else I did extra cards for you. What? Look, if this isn't like beauty and like love, and these cards are all like back to back to back. Look, Queen of Coins, you being, yeah, I feel like you've been manifesting something that has held a lot, and it's been in the ethers, into the air, if you will. And I feel like it's manifesting now into like water, into an emotional fulfillment. Those of you that want to have a baby or a child, or, you know, even like surrogates, even if you're not a parent per se, or if you don't want a child per se, but inadvertently is the word I was looking for. You wind up like parenting somebody else's child, or, you know, I take care, like I do respite care on the weekends, and I take care of a special needs lady. She's 27, and in some ways she has become kind of like my daughter in some ways. And so this could be something like that, but it's deep emotional connection. And I feel like it's going to, yeah, really help you to feel like you are, like you got your stuff together, like things are working out, like you're on the right trajectory, like things are coming together after all. Yeah. So I feel like if you had a lot of struggles, that's what this judgment is. A lot of endings without struggle. And different times ahead for you. So that is what I have. Let me know. Super curious. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste.